Being Dumb is the American Dream by Moon. Shout out to Moon. He makes great videos. He will be linked in the description below. If you like to sub up to him, hit the yeah, man. I was about to say hit the like button. Sub over here. Let's get to it. Yeah, if this one's gonna be because we're live right now. You know what I'm saying? This one's gonna be quick, so we're gonna be skipping
How
this one.
many books did you read last year? If you're like 40% of British people, the answer is 0. And it's not really like the
Yeah, more people read Instagram captions than anything else.
other 60% are avid readers either. Even college students whose entire job is to study aren't actually reading books. Professors across the US are teaching classes to students who can't read full books anymore. This is a massive neon sign that we're plummeting towards idiocracy, and soon kids aren't going to be able to read at all.
So yesterday I came to the realization my students can't read. That is the tragic truth.
I've been seeing this with a teacher epidemic with people saying the students can't read. Yeah, what do you think? You shove social media in their face, and like, I'm not trying to be rude. I don't want to be that guy. They're like 6'7" brain. Like, bro, what do you expect? They got AI brain slop, whatever it's called, AI slop on their For You page. 6'7", listening to terrible trash TikTok music. Majority of them got a phone. They're just dopamine hit. What do you expect? I think this was a programmed thing. Tinfoil hat. I think this was bound to happen from how we. If you look at the road we were going to, what would you expect it to be? Everyone's gonna be smart and do great. Nah.
And I struggle with being told that I have to focus on certain standards on grade level text when my kids are not reading grade level.
40% of American 4th graders are below a minimum basic level of reading comprehension. Test scores have been plummeting for years, and kids literally can't sit still in class or understand basic instructions. It's almost like there's something distracting them. Mind-numbing, isn't it? Well, this is exactly the problem. For years now,
Told you it, bro. Like I'm not saying like I'm smart. It's just obvious to recognize what it is, right? It's just so obvious. How do people not see this?
teachers have been reporting massive problems with behavior, making stories like this all too common. In a comment on the teachers subreddit, a user described their middle school students in a truly
NYC, you know they're cooked.
dystopian way. Literally all my middle schoolers want to talk about are TikTok trends and memes. That's it. My school prohibits phones from the first
And you know those teachers that will like, because when they're recording their classroom stuff, they'll do parodies to TikTok trends. It's like, can the dude not count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? Right? Or those are the ABCs and like, I don't know what it was. It was like some type of thing with sexy, right? It was like, it wasn't her music, but it was the same. It was the lyrics. It was just in like teacher and like how to teach someone way. It was like, oh, I was like, what? Just teach them the most normal way. So over here, like using the same melody and the same beat with like the sexy red, and it was like them doing school, like some type of like, it was like, what was it? It might have been like a farm thing where they're like with animals. It was something.
homeroom bell to the dismissal bell. As soon as the bell rings at the end of the day, they're pulling their phones out of their bags and scrolling TikTok as they walk out of the door. They literally don't know how to function without it. It's scary. Other teachers chimed in with their own.
I'm gonna skip ahead. You can say whatever you want with this, but this is probably the best thing you could do. I like to get a break from it. Just step out in the real world, breathe. Even though I use it a lot, obviously it's kind of like what I do for a hobby, kind of not like the most hobby thing, but it's what I do for like fun, stuff like that. When my free time, I'll go out and just record videos and post the clips and stuff. I spend a lot of time, but like I probably spend less than the average person if I'm gonna be honest. I try to not be on. The only thing I do is YouTube, and I listen to podcasts and stuff like that.
at the right age of 6 and 7. They don't read anything. They don't watch regular TV. They don't see commercials. They are glued to a screen 24/7 with instant gratification. They don't know how to be bored. They don't know how to use their
Actual roller coasters are less interesting than the dopamine dispensers in their pockets.
Yep.
Students are not reading anymore. They're not reading on their own. They're not reading for class assignments. I stopped giving into.
But they'll show you able to say sigma x risma gat or whatever, they'll be able to do that, but they can't read. I mean, there's time and time examples.
No social media ban for kids.
And then people will be like, "You're doing so much," but it'll be the same people complaining, not the same, but just about the same people mixing, complaining about kids are doing so bad, and then there'll be the teachers or then the school will be like, "Well, we're gonna ban phones, or you having a phone, we'll have in a pouch," which is like, okay, I get it. I don't know if there's a better way to do that, but that's kind of smart. So people are just off their phones, like, yo, just learn school, even though how I think school is, it kind of sucks, but like learn school, like learn what you're doing, math, social studies, whatever they're teaching you, and then boom, then go on your phone. People are out there with like not actually, but like pitchforks with like, this is bad, and they'll be the same ones. Why our kids can't read, man? Because your 8-year-old has an iPhone 17.
Is ever going to reverse this process. But the truly awful thing here is that this was all planned. But before we continue, here's a quick word from today's sponsor. You see, most people think the hard part of quitting smoking
Gotta let the ad play. I was gonna skip ahead a little bit, but yeah.
or vaping is the nicotine, but it really isn't. It's the habit, the hand reaching up, the thing in your mouth, the pause in the day. Nicotine clears your system in about 72 hours. The hand-to-mouth loop sticks for years. That's why patches and gums so often fail, as they replace the chemistry and not the ritual. However, Fume is a flavored air device that breaks the actual loop. There's no nicotine, no vapor, no batteries. Just a weighted, twisty piece of wood with replaceable flavor cores. You draw through it, get a hit of natural flavor, and your hand-to-mouth habit gets satisfied without any of the chemistry you're trying to get away from. The flavors are deliberately lighter than vaping. Think flavored water versus soda. Personally, for me, crisp mint is the
I'm gonna let it play out. Just give me one moment. Hold on.
tastiest and the strongest. And then there's also the raspberry tangy one on the sweeter end, which is also delicious. I keep one on my desk and reach for it whenever the moment hits. If you want to check it out for yourself, head to tryfume.com and use code MOON to get a free Fume topper with your journey pack. Just make sure to use the link in the description below. Now, it might have began as a side effect, but it became an intended consequence. Brain rot is just one part of the puzzle. If unleashing the digital equivalent of crack cocaine onto the nation's children wasn't enough, the US also embraced a system that completely failed to actually teach children how to read. Meanwhile, the tech oligarchs have taken over control of the news people watch, the social media sites that they use, and they've even gutted
Yeah, that's actually true. I think one person owns just about everything. Not everything, but almost everything when it comes to Netflix or no, CBS and all that jazz is, just allegedly, I think, I don't know, maybe just look it up, you might figure it out, I don't know.
the education system, just when it was most needed. Put together all of these pieces and the picture becomes clear.
Education system, wonder who, wonder what we'd read from in the education books. Wonder what that's about and who made it.
We're rocketing towards idiocracy. This isn't the first time the education system has been designed to suit their own interests. Public schooling and education has always had a purpose outside of actual education.
Do you know Paul Gaudy?
No.
Okay, Gaudy, I hope I have this. He was no admirer of the discipline.
So I'm just skipping ahead.
What he produced.
So I just want to get to, not in a rude way, I just want to skip.
Followed strict time schedules and who would be able to work the machines they were assigned to. Rockefeller is often quoted as saying, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers."
Wake up at 6, get off at 3. One meal. No, actually, we'll give you a lunch. A terrible lunch, a terrible breakfast.
The results of this philosophy speak
Ask to use the bathroom, raise your hand to speak when spoken to. Good boy.
for themselves. Now, however you feel about Jordan Peterson, it doesn't really matter. This has been noticed and discussed by people all around society. In one of his lectures, Noam Chomsky had a lot to say
I could see it. I could see
about
what
this. First, he plainly says the same thing. The basic institutional role and function of the schools and why they're supported is to provide an ideological service. There's a real selection for obedience and conformity. Let me just tell you a personal story. My oldest friend, closest friend, is a guy who came to the United States from Latvia when he was 15. The first thing that struck him about
Fleeing from Hitler.
American schools was the fact that if he
York, I think he was. I just want to see what high school he went to. School and bright Jewish kid from New York.
got a C in a course, nobody cared. But if he went to school 3 minutes late, he was sent to the principal's office. That's ultimately why
Hey, dude, I have something to say. I don't know if I'll say it yet, but I'm gonna skip ahead. Dude, I was thinking the same thing when it comes to certain things, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Actually, I will. Nah, I won't.
only it's been left to
But
rot.
you know it. Like, if you use that example when it comes to things, you know it. You know it. If you can just imagine, like, say school, like how people come in and stuff like that. But he's not lying with that example. I was gonna say it, but there's no point.
In fact, for decades, kids were taught using a system that didn't actually teach children how to read. From around the late 80s to about a decade ago, schools across the West taught reading using the whole language system. It emphasized teaching kids to read by making them guess the meanings of words or phrases, rather than by sounding out the letters and actually understanding the word itself. Despite being proven, it profited the people selling the fast finally ended. But by the time that
Bro,
of them are now adults, walking around with high school diplomas they can't even read.
and some people, when it comes to this stuff, are like you can. I try to frame away from it because I'm getting better with like using actual words, not like saying TikTok words aren't actual words, but you could tell it when someone, like, not in a rude way, when someone probably is like a little low IQ, or they're just like they spend too much time on social media. When they just sound like a TikTok, when they just sound like a TikTok algorithm. Like, it's just it's kind of annoying to be around, especially when you're like easing off on like using social media, trying to stay away from that stuff, like being more in real life. It gets a little annoying.
School system last year, but
By high school, she was using text-to-speech apps to fake her way through every single assignment.
so if you had an assignment where you had to write something, you'd open up a document like this and then do what?
I would go here to use the text-to-speech.
It says dictate.
Dictate, yep. I love pizza.
This is how you would do your assignment. If you had to read something, that's how you do it.
Her mother begged the school for help for years and got nothing but empty promises. Now, she's suing the Hartford Board of Education. Whether you believe her story or not, profit became the incentive a long time ago for the people who are truly in power, who have
I skipped ahead, so I don't know what you had.
They don't need factory workers anymore. Western nations aren't producer economies anymore, they're consumer economies.
And that's exactly what happened. American manufacturing collapsed. Yeah, and they did it all for money. And they did it all because they were greedy. They were already rich.
All you need to do to confirm this is to take a drive through any town or city in Middle America.
Detroit.
Poverty, deprivation, and hopelessness everywhere because the jobs just vanished.
They don't care.
Tyler Oliveira actually gives you, the Texas video. Yeah, they gonna take it. All right, fine. They gonna leave no more warehouse shops. Less of those. We're gonna cut down on it. Fine. How about these white collar jobs? Actually, we're just gonna, if you know Tyler Oliveira's video he did in Texas. Oh well,
That their grades are low. They don't care that they're not reading. And
Brain rot ditches the complicated world building and context that Ow My Balls establishes in the first second or so. The algorithm would just see this as wasted time. It wouldn't work for the attention spans it's designed to cater to. We're 20 years from when YouTube was first released? What's entertainment gonna look like in another decade or so? TikTok's
put a brain chip in your brain. You don't even have to use a phone. Come on, all you have to do is get your brain updated, your brain chip updated.
Then they
when I'm saying that stuff, it's like half trolling, but like half hard truth. You get what I'm saying when it comes to that stuff. But like, I've seen people that put like a credit card or like a chip in their hand. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I think people got to understand at some point, like, this technology we're having isn't like, I don't think we're like, especially for human beings, like, we're not developed enough for it. Being real, we're not like, literally. I don't know how long ago it was, but like, dude, we didn't have TVs, air conditioning, like cars, phones, laptops, AI slop memes. We didn't have all this. Like, I think we're how the internet stuff is like ahead of human beings, kind of in a way. If you get what I'm saying, maybe I worded that wrong, which is probably true. It's just like AI slop and shit. It's just
We're just expected to go back to normal straight after. Gen Z and older generations are
bro. I've said this ever since COVID. Everything's been off. I don't know what it is. It's been
hooked
weird.
as well, just to varying degrees of severity. The problems with reading, as we saw, goes pretty far up the age range. It's a cultural shift towards ignorance and ultimately stupidity, the very definition of idiocracy. Lots of people have no
Long drives. What would you do? I would read like older times. Oh, I would read. Now I'm just gonna scroll on TikTok for 5 hours. Hopefully my AirPods don't die.
Capture isn't just people buying, media properties so that they have it as like a vanity purchase. It comes with a real sense of power.
Despite the fact that nobody wanted it and the vast majority of people scrolled past it, Google has been desperate to push their AI overview answers to people's search queries. Lots of people explain this as
I use it. Dude, I use AI to a point. AI's it's good to a point. Like, I'm not putting an AI chip in my brain. I don't want AI to be near me. I don't want an AI human. I don't want AI anything else. As long as you can give me an answer and has helped me out a little bit, that's fine. You can like generating photos and stuff is fine, but like it gets weird to a point. Like, all that the videos and stuff are getting weird. But like I use it sometimes, but it's like I'm not. I don't want to. I don't like I said before. I don't want none of that stuff near me. I don't want a robot. I don't want an AI phone. I don't want none of that.
just one thing tech companies are doing to justify the AI craze and to keep the bubble from popping. But as it takes over,
And plus, it's just free. It's literally free. Like, why would it's like kind of like you don't have to have a whole bunch of people, but like what, a couple to make it run? So AI can do three. AI can do 500 jobs at once, and it's gonna cost us 15 less million. But we're gonna pay 100 billion to have it in right now. In 5 years, by the profits, we should make return on investment. Sign it. Yep. Unfortunately, y'all, we're just making business changes. We're gonna have to lay you off.
it's passing on what it thinks is relevant to you. Certain narrative, they can subtly leave out certain details from the AI summaries as well. This is already happening. Then they can have an AI emphasizing certain details and leaving out others out there.
Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Sorry, sorry, Moon. Sorry to anyone that actually want to watch it long ways. This really wasn't the best video I've done. So if you'd rather watch another one, hit the channel. I have a lot posted. I have like maybe 50 or something. I don't know. This wasn't a good one, but yeah, I think I've heard this saying. I don't know if it's true. Let me know what you think. Comment down below if you think this is true or not. I think people are saying like how Rome fell or whatever. Rome, I think it was Rome, right? Roman Empire. The American Empire is falling as we speak. A lot of things are falling, and I don't know if I fully agree on that or not. Yeah, I do. Let me not lie. I do. Like this video. Shout the moon. Yeah, it's obvious it's coming. You can't run from it. Can't really do nothing. We can, but people don't want to.